love it.
We have to find.
Show.
The light's not bad there.
I can't even see anything anymore. I'm so blinded by that sun.
Can I say how I know you?
Of course you can.
Because would you say that I'm one of the more active tweeters about House of Cards?
I would say without a doubt you are. And how much it's appreciated, though. We all love it. I think it's so cool.
But that's why I have such a soft spot for you, is you answer every single fan tweet.
I try to, or I favorite to acknowledge that I've read it, and if I like it, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I probably have more favorites than I have tweets.
But that counts for a lot. I just feel like the fact
people,
of that interaction.
Yeah, and I'm appreciative. I know that people really dig the show, and that's why I have a job, because the people dig the show. So the real fans, it's no sweat off my back to go and read what people say, and I get a kick out of it.
So my question for you: you've had a really long career, but this role, Doug Stamper, when you watch it, every iota of you, every movement, every eyebrow, up and down, every gesture, it's just you're born to play Doug Stamper.
I feel so fortunate. It's just this gift that keeps giving. I'm like, we're doing another season, because the writers are so brilliant on our show, to get to say those words and to do all the crazy shit that he does. You're just like, oh my God. Every time I read it, I'm just like, are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? But I love it. It's the best.
I want to talk like the nitty gritty behind the scenes. When you first got the script, the very first time when you read it, did you just say, I got to get this, I got to have it?
Yeah, because by then, you already had Kevin and Robin and Beau Willimon, and I think even Kate Mara was already attached. David Fincher, and I was just like, and I read the first script, and I read the first two, and I was like, oh my God. And then I auditioned for Hammerschmidt. That was my first one.
Really? See, that's what I want to know, all the trivia.
And then Lucas, and then Russo, and this was just me going to my agency and putting myself on tape. They were like, yeah, we like that. Have him read this role. We like that.
So they were having you do it on
weeks.
tape.
Yeah, just at my agency, reading with the young girl who works at the agency. And then they were like, hey, David Fincher's coming to town. Lorraine Mayfield wants you to come and have a work session, an audition with him, a call back with him, and I was like, cool. So I went in for Lucas and Russo.
Okay.
And I read with Fincher for 45 minutes, just Lorraine reading opposite me and David Fincher pacing the room saying, all right, try this. Okay, try that.
Was it exhausting, emotionally draining? No, it was fun. It was fun.
So amazingly energizing, because I was like, I'm working with David Fincher. It was incredible. And so then he said, he was like, okay, I think you could play any of these guys, but I want you to read for somebody else. And I was thinking, I was like, well, who else is there? What other guys? Like I thought, I thought I'd hit them off. And he was like, I'll send it to you. And I was like, well, I'll do it now if you want. He's like, no, you can put it on tape, I'll watch it. And then Julie Schubert, Lorraine's assistant, or associate at the time, she had me come in on a Saturday, and I put it on tape, and then I went down to New Orleans to do Now You See Me, and they did the test, and I wasn't there for it, and they said they're going to test you for Russo and Stamper. So I tested for both of those characters, but I wasn't even there. They just showed my tapes. And
you were so born to play Stamper. So after that was it. Like, where were you? You got a call? You're like, okay, you got it, Michael.
My manager called me. It was actually, he's always really cool. My manager, Brian Lehman, he's the best. And he was like, he called, and I was in New Orleans, and and his assistant was like, hey, I got Brian for you. And I was like, oh, cool. And he picked up. He's like, "Hey, Doug," and I was like,
"I'm getting excited listening to this."
I was like, "Dude, it's Michael. I think you got the wrong number." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was calling for Doug Stamper." I was like, "Shut
I'm gonna die right now. Shut the fuck."
And I remember exactly where I was standing. I remember how much the window was open. I remember exactly what I was seeing out the window. I just started crying. I was like,
"You cried?"
Oh, totally.
I gotta show you one thing.
I was so excited
because I actually didn't know you were gonna be here tonight, and I was driving here, and look what I took a picture of. I saw my first FU Frank under the bus. Have you seen this?
I love it. I have not seen that.
This is it. Look, that's it. I took this on the way here. I didn't know you were gonna be here, and I'm like, it's Michael Kelly. It's Doug Stamper. So, okay, I know you got to get going in, but I just want to know, have you started filming the new season? What's going on?
Mid-July, from what I'm hearing, is when we'll start.
So, have you gotten any scripts yet?
I'll go to the writer's room when I get back. I go back to New York tomorrow, and next week I'm going to go visit the writers, and they might throw me a couple breadcrumbs. they don't really tell you a lot, but
has it just changed your life
completely?
Are you getting just stopped all the time for pictures?
Yeah, but you know, I mean, for me, I take every one of them because I'm like, I'm so thankful.
No, because you talk to everyone. You just, and it's so refreshing. I've been an entertainment reporter for a long time, and I get a little thrill every time I get a notification that you've replied to somebody or you've seen it, because I know you're like a fan. You're fanning out for the show too.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it when it comes out. I watch the show. You know, I've read them, I shot them, but then to actually see it, like Karen and I, my wife and I, are big fans of the show. It's like, we love watching it. So.
I'm so happy for you because I genuinely think you're such a nice person. So give me a hug, like, such a pleasure.